Alrighty boys, welcome back to another step-by-step video. Now today's video is going to be on Fenrir. Now Fenrir is a trap operator, so what that means is that you want to be playing him in places where the enemy team is going to have to likely go through for them to do whatever main push that they're going to be going for during the round. So like for example on this map in particular, one of the most common places that people like to push for is a yellow stairs push, maybe Visa stairs, maybe reception or admin. Okay, now typically those are going to be like the main options for a push from the enemy team. Now typically what I will do is that I will try to put some of my Fenrir traps on those major locations. Now, specifically on this map, there's not an easy way to put Fenrir traps for admin hop-ins, like for the windows. So what I'll typically do is instead of doing for admin itself, I'll do it for this hallway. Because when you do it for the hallway, when people are actually taking admin themselves, if you're playing in like reception or inside a meeting, you'll be able to play off of that Fenrir trap for the hallway. I put one for yellow staircase and I put one for reception as well as the Visa staircase. The Visa staircase, I feel like you probably could get away with not doing it. You could probably put barbed wire there instead, and it'd probably be slightly better, and it maybe save your other Fenrir trap. However, since we didn't have much barbed wire for the Visa staircase, I decided to just go ahead and put one of my Fenrir traps for that specific spot. Now, one thing I do want to mention, guys, is that when you are playing Fenrir, you want to be playing around your traps. So right here, what I'm planning to do is that my main goal is to knight yellow. Okay, so the enemy team is going to be doing like kind of a split push in this position where they're going to be pushing admin, spider spiral, and yellow in this position. So my goal here is to just shut down one of those positions instead of trying to hold everything in this position. So you're going to see here, there's going to be a guy that's trying to push my yellow. I believe if you are paying attention here, there's going to be a laser sight on the wall here. He's going to also toss a drone here, which is also going to alert me to his position. I'm going to go ahead and rotate back after he drones me to change my position. He's going to walk up, hit my Fenrir trap, so it's going to give me a free swing, and then my whole team is pretty much going to die. So I'm going to have to rotate over to reception here, and then here I'm just going to have to swing aggressively because I got my Fenrir trap for the double door. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to end up killing two guys. The last guy in this position is actually going to be in my secretary, and he's going to actually try to push me aggressively here. However, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and back up. I'm going to go behind this little meeting desk here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and pop up as I get audio of him sprinting at me and get myself another free kill to secure the round. Now, one of the big topics that I feel like doesn't really get brought up very often is actually a Fenrir roam. And what I mean by that is where you use your Fenrir traps purely on a roam to shut down a very big portion of the map. Now, the idea that I have here is that I'm going to be placing most of my Fenrir traps for storage in this position. We're pretty much doing like a 4-man roam for top floor here. I am going to rotate down here in the slight chance that they're like going to maverick the single wall and just walk into sight. However, they weren't actively going for this at the time, so what I was able to do is just rotate back upstairs and just focus purely on vert. You're going to see right here my control window is open. There is a Legion Mine on this window, so I don't actually have to play my Fenrir trap on this window right at this second. So what's going to end up actually happening here is that I'm opting to make storage like a really hard push for the enemy team here. And then I'm going to be mostly focusing on my control cargo side in this position as well as my bottom aqua, because the thing that you guys gotta understand here is that if somebody actually hops in my control window, which for spoiler alert, somebody is gonna hop in my control window, he's gonna hit a Legion Mine, which is actually gonna open up a very easy play for me to swing him aggressively to get myself a very easy kill. You're gonna see right here, he jumps into the window, hits a Legion Mine, I'm gonna swing aggressively, he's gonna get lit up, he's gonna have a Legion Mine in his pocket, I'm gonna swing with my bailiff to go ahead and finish him off right here. And then what's gonna actually end up happening here is that now we're in a nice 4v4 position. The enemy team can't really do much of a vert push in this position. Most of their team is still on the vertical in this position. So for now, I'm going to keep playing on the vertical here, because if I just leave in this position, they'll be able to basically funnel down cargo and be able to hit like a double like sight play, if that makes sense. The reason why I say a double sight position is because, long story short, the enemy team, and for context here, is they're actually doing like a maverick play through single wall in this position. I actually have a bulletproof on pillar here, and I believe one of my dead teammates ended up telling me about it. that there was a guy actually playing inside of the bomb site here, and I believe he also spotted the bomb as well, which also gave us like the alert that somebody was in sight. And what ended up happening here is that we ended up just walking down cargo in this position to just basically rotate down, because since we got one of the last kills on vertical here, they're most likely going to shift to a site play. And as I rotate back into nanotech here from cargo, there's going to actually be a guy that's going to try to rotate on the pillar here, a twitch with diffuser. I'm going to end up getting a free kill into him, which puts us into a 3v2 position. Now we got to chill because it's a 30 seconds left. The bomb is down on pillar here, or not quite on pillar, but it's like right in the middle of tank here. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to kind of just chill. We're going to make the enemy team try to make a decision here. This is Nomad is going to end up walking into a 2v1 position. The last guy in this position killed one of my teammates for the hallway for nanotech here, and he's going to end up rotating in from cargo here. I'm going to go ahead and swing aggressively. Once again, it's a 2v1 position onto this ram here, so we're going to go ahead and get a free kill onto him to secure the round. And also, this was against the #1 champ at the start of the season, Mr. Raid Bullies. Definitely was a really good win to get at the beginning of the season. And now I want to show you guys a nice little like off angle that you guys can use for when you are playing the villa downstairs bomb site for kitchen here. And the idea with this one is that the enemy team will usually go for some kind of vert push. So what I like to do when I play Fenrir or any shotgun in general, you could even do this like mute or any operator that can make a hole here, is you're just going to be basically putting a hole right above where like the pantry wall is, and then you're basically waiting for anybody to jump into this bathroom window. It doesn't always happen, but occasionally sometimes people do it, so you'll be able to get yourself a very easy kill right there. So I wanted to bring it up because I feel like it's a nice way of getting a very easy kill if you are, you know what I mean, playing that bomb site in particular. Now next up we're going to be on border here. Now one thing I really quickly wanted to bring up, guys, if there's any operator that you guys want to see me do for a step-by-step, please let me know. Right now, this season so far, I've been playing a lot of different operators already, so there's a really good chance that I probably have enough clips to actually do an operator that you guys want to see. So just let me know down in the comments what operators you guys want to see for step-by-step videos. Right now, I've been mostly focusing on like a lot of trap operators on defense, as well as I've been focusing on like alternatives to Hard Breacher, since Hard Breacher is getting banned like crazy this season. A lot of Ace Thermite bans, so I've been playing a lot of different operators to counteract that. So let me know what you guys would like to see in the future, if there's specific operators that you guys would want to see me do step-by-step videos on. Now typically with Fenrir, the other thing that I really quickly want to bring up is that I want to talk about using traps like efficiently. Now one thing that I want to talk about, guys, is ideally you want to be swinging off of your traps. However, one thing I've been talking about with my viewers a lot is when you are playing like a position, the main reason why you want to play like a trap operator in the first place is to help you play that position, because like a lot of the times you can't just sit there and just hold an angle to like hold like a position, if that makes sense. Because what will end up happening is if you're in a deep, very high elo, what will end up happening is people will just swing you aggressively and pre-fire and get a free kill onto you. So what I'd recommend doing is when you're playing traps is try to think of it as like an extension of your position, if that makes sense. Like whatever position you're playing, like for example here I'm playing back archives. My goal is to deny double door for office here as well as archives in this position. My idea is that if somebody walks through office double door, I'll get a free kill onto them walking in. It's basically going to signal when I need to swing is the idea. Right here, there's going to be a guy who's going to walk in my back archives looking at for my dock in this position. I'm going to get a free kill onto him. And then what's going to end up happening is the ram that's in office is going to swing me aggressively to try to get a free kill onto me. So I'm going to go ahead and swing aggressively and get a headshot onto him. And then there's going to be a guy, like I said earlier, that's going to try to walk in my office double door. I'm going to go ahead and get a free kill, free swing onto him, and pretty much put us in a nice 2v1. Unfortunately, I'm going to get traded out. Then my dock is going to go ahead and trade me to secure the round. But long story short, the idea is that when you're playing traps is you want to basically have the traps be like an extension of like your position that you're trying to hold. Does that make sense? So it's like the thing that you usually will want to do is like when you're holding like a position that you like must hold, is you need to make your position known to the enemy team, so that way they don't just walk up and just get like a free grab on you and your teammates. So what I'm trying to say is that the trap is basically extending it for you, if that makes sense. It's basically telling you when you need to swing or when you have like an advantage in the gunfight. That's pretty much the idea with the traps in a nutshell. But don't get me wrong, guys, a lot of people in this game right now is that if they get hit by like a Fenrir trap or they get hit by like a Legion Mine, a lot of the times they're going to pre-fire whatever the swing is in that position. So realistically, the only real way that you're going to be able to get kills off of your Fenrir traps is if you put them in places where there's multiple swings. Does that make sense? So like, for example, on consulate last round, I put one for the hallway for admin push, right? Or spiral double door would be like another good example where there's multiple places where you can swing from off of the Fenrir trap. And so that's the idea, is that like you're pretty much playing in a position that has many different gunfights for the enemy player, and that's where you're putting your Fenrir trap, so that way that when they do hit that Fenrir trap, you're able to swing from one of those many locations that you're able to swing from, and the enemy player is not going to be able to hit like a pre-fire on you to get a free kill. And like I said earlier, there is also a world where you put your Fenrir traps down on like very heavy, high traffic areas. Like for example, here for bedroom bomb site here, the enemy team is trying to do a cash push. I have 2 Fenrir traps on the construction walk-up outside of cash here, and the idea is that I can swing aggressively here. However, since they are aware of my position and logic here, since they've been pre-firing, shooting in my general direction, they must know that I'm here in this general location. So what I'm going to do is, instead of just swinging aggressively on these guys, I'm actually just going to chill in this position. I'm going to let my Fenrir traps burn time here, instead of just taking the gunfight right away. You're going to see here, this guy's trying to fake the Fenrir trap so he can pre-fire me. Don't get me wrong, there is a world where I wide swing this guy on like really awkward timing to get a free kill into him. However, what I'm doing here is I'm just letting my Fenrir trap burn time, and then my goal was to help my Mozzie in this position. Unfortunately, he's not really playing in a position where I can help him efficiently. So what's going to end up happening here is that Finka is going to end up shooting my Fenrir trap on Condor. My Mozzie will end up dying here to somebody on Condor through the cash breach here, and then Finka is going to go ahead and just ego challenge me. I'm going to get a free kill into him, and then the Ace is going to go ahead and try to challenge me for the refrag. Luckily, I'm going to get the headshot into him, and then the last guy in this position is going to be a Twitch. I'm going to actually end up just drop shotting him here as he pushes me aggressively. The reason why I drop shot there is because of the fact that it's a very close range engagement right there, and if I prone right there, it's very unlikely for him to hit me, but I'm going to be able to hit most of my shots onto him as I'm dropping on the hip fire, since it's a very close range gunfight. Now, part of the reason why I'm even able to do that in the first place is because of the fact that I am using a DualSense Edge controller, so I do have the paddles that will enable me to do that. However, there was also a play there where I committed through my Gold Vault rotate to catch him onto the doorway for Logi right there, because I did get audio of him pushing through 90 in that position. But basically what I'm trying to say for Fenrir is that Fenrir is basically like an extension of yourself. You're basically using the traps as like your trigger of when to take gunfights. Now, there is going to be rounds where people are going to get rid of your Fenrir traps, and all you're going to really need to do is that, like, if you're in like an anchor position, is you need to make your presence known, so that way they don't take advantage of the gaps that are getting created by getting rid of the Fenrir traps. Does that make sense? So you need to make your position known, or else the enemy team is going to take advantage of the no traps, or if the traps are up, then the traps will signify when you need to swing or not swing is the idea, as well as being a good alternative for time burning as well. But anyway, guys, that's going to pretty much do it for today's step-by-step video. Like I said, if you guys want to see specific operators in the future, please comment down below. And then the rest of this video is going to be a couple extra clips that I got during the new season. And I wanted to put it in at the end of the video if you guys wanted to see some more Fenrir gameplay. But hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace! Are too aggressive. Go Twitch.
Nice. I ran 90 on top of these guys though.
This guy not gonna heal me? He just looked right at me. One of them's injured. Oh, they're gonna walk in lockers here.
Changing max.
Bad aim.
There's 290.
If not, ready to go.
Hands off this double.
Jesus.
Okay, there's one breach and 290.
Bad. Run!
No way!
I'm reloading. Deploying bulletproof camera.
Prepping needles.
Cover me! Reloading!
Stopping me.
Dread mine out. If not mine primed. Idle. F not activated. Ugh!